Oh yeah, man. Street dances all over the world. Yeah, yeah. You know what you gotta do. Word. Yeah. Yeah, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The turntable spins, using new ability, agility that wins. And then your crew got burned. To be the master of the craft, you gotta practice to learn, kid. The street dancer breaks with 1990s and the 80s paved the way for the days. B-boys emulating the greats like 43s, crazy legs, dynamic breakers with shake. Let's dance to the beat of the drummer that's funky. Way before the beat, this was bugging on Brass Monkey. Hip hop, new cruises, Foxy Enchilada. In the boxy DJing was Africa Bambaataa. Brought back to the Bronx, crew hurt the innovator. DJing sound systems toasting in Jamaica. Got posting, the host with the most of money maker. Now I'm moving bricks, but I started out as a breaker. The turntable spins, brothers cautious, listening to Bob James Nautilus, and of course James Brown, funky drummer the sound in the summer, before you saw the hustler in the Hummer. Yeah, and a few years later Melly Mel changed up his gear and switched the game up. The gangs of New York ceased banging for beat, once the whole 5 girls break dancing up in the street. Yeah, the turntable spins, the DJ and MC coincide like twins. The crowd grins cause they know what they came to hear. It's important what you wear, uniform in the fresh gear. Hip hop was visible and heard by many. A backdrop or a mural in the park with graffiti. Dancers, rappers, original, not phony men. Windbreaker jackets, knee pads on linoleum.
Dance, make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked down. Dance, first position, winning groove, DJ spin it round. Dance, it's your time, time to shine, all the eyes on you. See dance all over the world.
Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor.
Make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked down. Dance, first position, winning groove, DJ spin it round. Dance, it's your time, time to shine, all the eyes on you. See dance all over the world.
There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Hello, everyone. This is Robert from Jobs180.com, and welcome to Jobs 180's Marketing Me Live. Now, today's session is done for and in coordination with the University of the East, Caloocan. Before we proceed, I would like to invite everyone to join us in prayer.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above, ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Hello again, and thanks everyone for coming. I can see na meron na tayong audience now, but of course, I know that this video is also recorded and will be posted sa aming Facebook page. But again, dun sa mga kasama natin ngayon, thank you very much. And I hope this will be, you would be learning a lot today. So this would not have been, of course, possible without your school officials. With that, we would like to take this opportunity to have one of your officials share the opening remarks. For the opening remarks, we have from someone from your Guidance Counseling and Career Services Office, Dr. Maria Leonila V. Urea, your Director for Guidance, Counseling and Career Services Office for the University of the East.
Grace-filled day, our dear students. If I asked you, how are you in your school toward preparation this time? Or how are you designing your life for those who are doing their on-the-job training or work immersion? Maybe you will reply, sakto lang, wala pa, ewan po, kailangan ba? Or may offer na work na ako. Yeah, perhaps it has not yet dawned on you that after this semester, you're expected to have a working what to do next. One at a time, sabi nyo nga. You just have to finish this one at hand, right? But thinking about what to do next this time is exactly the best time. Or else, you may miss to recognize some privileged information which are being given to you by the UE's Career Development and Placement Program. Our 2021 graduating students, and to our students about to graduate next year in their college program, and even our alumni, bear with us, as this is one of the few opportunities we can properly guide you on how to navigate the super volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, disrupted, diverse career employment arena. We find it deemed necessary to enhance your knowledge, skills, and attitude given the effects that the pandemic is bringing in our lives. This is a wake up call for all of us. Even with the FDA approved vaccines already available, it would take years for the world economy to recover from the setbacks and losses this pandemic has brought. So, UE warriors, listen and immerse yourself in the talk of our seasoned resource speakers as they lead you to what to do next and to what lies ahead. This webinar is not just a requirement for you to accomplish, it is a glimpse of your work life in the foreseeable future. Congratulations and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lenila, for preparing the message for our audience. Of course, kami sa Jobs 180, we are hoping that we can do our part para na-achieve yung mga na-mention nyo sa inyong message. Of course, we are doing this for your students and we are happy to be here doing this for them. And to the students watching, I would normally ask ang aming audience to comment their name, their course or strand, and then the year of their graduation. But looking at the comments na simulan nyo na. So thank you very much. Para dun sa iba, what we're asking is for you to comment your name, your course or strand, and the year of your graduation. Okay? So let's move on since you're doing it now naman na. And well, I would now like to show to you the topics that we will have for today. We will be covering 3 topics, and then we will have different resource speaker for each topic. So for each topic, what we would be asking is that you comment your questions later on. So you can comment your questions, and then I will be reading them, telling our resource speakers maybe they could answer the question. So our 3 topics will stand by for the visuals sa aming 3 topics. But what we will be covering ay first of all is yung resume link nyo, and we will have someone from jobs180.com to give the talk. And then next is virtual interviews. We'll have someone from CDO Food Sphere. Next is hiring for work from home jobs. And we will have 2 representatives, one from Optum Global Solutions and one from Ernst & Young Global Services. Now, dun sa first 2, we will have 1 speaker and the Q&A after. The third, more of a discussion since dalawa nga ang ating mga resource speakers for that, our company representatives. But for all, I encourage everyone to comment their questions, and then, as mentioned kanina, babasahin ko nga siya, address ko sa ating mga speaker. Okay? So moving on, dun na tayo sa ating first na talk, which is on the resume link. And then we will have someone from jobs180.com, our speaker. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 colleges and universities nationwide. Let's now all turn our attention to the managing director of jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua.
Good afternoon, everyone. Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have 1 file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw yung makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on-off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, Okay? Pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay? So, walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating ko sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang, alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have, kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. Now, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So, yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo. Diba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, diba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay. Ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O di ba? Yung just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, edi delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda yung sample yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng mga kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kayang-kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Yung sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologies, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan membro na Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pag nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo at oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Di ba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Di ba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin? Huwag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagpaprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nag-submit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala lang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O, di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Di ba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang, huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secure na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, it becomes faster, it becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Sir Kim Chua. And then he is now naglo-load lang. There you go. Hello, Sir Kim. Sir Kim, can you hear us? Nakamute lang po kayo.
Hi! Hi, Sir Robert.
Ayan. So thank you, sir, sa
Hi, Sir Robert.
na pinakita natin, sir.
No,
Hello, sir.
I'm on na. Hi.
Mukhang gumagalaw kayo, sir. May question, sir, dito from the audience, if you can hear us.
Hindi na.
We have a question regarding here it is. I think it's flashed across your screen. Miss Laarni, hello po. Pwede na po ba gumawa ng account kahit hindi pa po college? Yan.
Yes, definitely. Pwede gumawa ng account. Actually, mas in-encourage namin gumawa ka ng account ng mas maaga so that you can build up your portfolio. Kasi kadalasan yan, yung mga nangyari sa mga estudyante, sa mga aplikante, kung kailan sila maghahanap ng trabaho, doon pa lang sila ngayon nag-iisip kung ano mga dapat nila ilagay or dapat nilang ilagay sa isang resume. Sometimes, it's giving them a hard time to think, ano kaya pinagagagawa ko nung freshman ako? Ano kaya mga activities na sinalihan ko nung ako'y second year or third year? Ano kaya mga association na mga na-involve ako? So yan yung mga nagiging concern ng kadalasan kapag last minute gumagawa. Kaya ang recommend ko habang maaga, nasa senior high pa lang kayo, I recommend you create your account na, or even if you're freshman pa lang or second year pa lang, anytime, gawa ka na ng account mo, tapos as you build your career, doon ka na mag-add na lang ng mga information kung anong mga dapat na i-add mo pa. Di ba? Para at least hindi mo makalimutan. So that's my recommendation. I hope na answer ko yung question.
Yes, sir. So, thank you, sir. So, Miss Larnie, yan po ang response ni Sir Kim sa inyong question. Sir Kim, meron pa akong nakikitang question sa comment. This time
Okay tayo, Sir Robert?
specific. Hello, sir? Hello, Sir Kim?
Are we good?
So, I have another question for you. It's flashed across the screen. This one is specific sa Jobs 180. Hope you can see it. It says, from Sir Mac, pwede po ba magtrabaho mismo sa Jobs 180 for future?
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
I think my slight
Go ahead,
delay
go
lang,
ahead.
Sir Kim, for our audience. I think yun nga po, may slight na delay. Pero magre-respond din yan. Hintay lang po natin. Basically, Sir Kim, if you are just hearing this now, the question is, pwede po ba magtrabaho sa Jobs 180 mismo for the future? Okay, so let's give a few more minutes siguro for Sir Kim. Baka mag-pick up ang kanyang connection.
Yes.
Ayan.
Definitely, we welcome mga applicants to apply to jobs180.com. Okay, pwede The answer is yes, definitely. Pwede po mag-apply sa jobs180.com. We welcome all fresh ideas, applicants, may experience or wala. We welcome you to apply. Just go check out the opportunities that we have. Marami pong mga positions na open at this time. Kahit na pandemic, marami po. So we recommend you check out jobs180.com/jobs180 kung mismo sa amin. Now, habang nag-aantay kayo ng feedback naman sa amin, sa HR namin, ang recommend ko rin, you also explore all the other companies and opportunities that you will be able to find on the website. So just check out jobs180.com. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Kim. Sir Kim, we have a few more questions, but since we are having trouble with the connection, ako na lang po ang mag-respond dito sa ating questions kasi to our audience, kaya ko na rin naman masagot ang inyong question. So, Sir Kim, thank you muna po for now. Thank you for
Okay, Sir Robert,
making the effort.
just bring in our questions kung meron pang tanong.
So, sir, I think delayed nga again. So, ako na po magsasagot ng ating questions. Minomonitor ko po ang ating questions dito. Thank you sa ating audience na nagtatanong pa kayo ng questions. So, I'll wait na lang na makapasok ang sinasabi ko kay Sir Kim. Sir Kim, goodbye na po. You could disconnect na now. We are having slight difficulties lang pagdating sa ating connection with you. So, to our audience, we apologize for that. Pero as mentioned, sasagutin ko nga ang mga nakita kong questions dito sa comments. May nagtanong about kung pwede ba ipasa resume link sa companies outside the Philippines. Yes. Well, it's a link. Kahit sino naman, kahit saan, pwede maka-access ng link. And then, if maklik nila, kasi nga sabi ni Sir Kim kanina, even if companies who do not know Jobs 180, pwede mo pa rin magamit ang inyong resume link. Kasi, well, kahit saan ka man, click mo lang yung link na sa-send mo, and then makikita naman yung content ng inyong resume. So, it doesn't have to be from the Philippines. It does not have to be a company na kilala na kami. So, yun nga. Anyone can access it. Ito pala. So, from Sir Don Dominic, sir, yan po ang aking sagot. That yes, pwede po ibigay ang resume. Send nila yung link through email or through other messaging platforms. Yan. Makikita nila. So, click lang nila yung link, type lang nila sa browser. Nandiyan na. Okay. Thank you, Sir Don. I think meron na akong mga ibang questions pang nakita. Summer jobs. Well, I'm not sure if you're asking for Jobs 180 mismo. Of course, kapag sa other companies, punta lang kayo sa Jobs 180, search nyo lang yung jobs, and then yun nga, makikita nyo na. For us, parang yung na-mention naman ni Sir Kim, na-check nyo, year-round naman po siya. Yun nga, jobs180.com/jobs180. Check nyo po yan. May available international jobs. Okay. Or local jobs lang. For Sir Iron, yung minention kanina ni Sir Kim, if naalala niyo dun sa work options, merong on at off kayo na options kapag magsa-search. Meron doon yung willing to work abroad o night shift yon. So on nyo lang yung willing to work abroad kapag mag-search kayo ng jobs namin. Sige. I think na-skip ko ba yung iba? I think na-cover naman mostly ang aming question. Ito. Doon po ba sa Jobs 180 gagawa ng mismong resume or mag-attach na lang? Thank you, Ben, for clarifying. Yung sa pag-login nyo, pag-register nyo ng account, pipilapan nyo yung details doon. And then, pagkatapos nyo doon, lalabas na sa webpage yung complete na resume nyo. Naka-layout na siya tulad ng sample ni Sir Kim. Pero kung gusto nyo yung print PDF, yun nga, may button doon, pinunod yung print, tapos may PDF file na kayo na makukuha for that. So, choice nyo rin yun kung ganun nyo gusto. But of course, yun nga, register nyo lang, fill upan nyo ng information. Yung link nyo, buong page na nun ay resume nyo. And mas madali talaga siya na way para i-distribute. Sige. I think meron akong nakitang question na possible ba tumanggap na hindi pa college. Yes, meron namang companies hiring K-12 graduates na kayo I'm looking at maraming grade 12, so you'll be graduating soon. And looks like naman na we have companies na, well, they're offering jobs. I think meron na kami mga na-interview sa previous webinars namin saying yes, they are open. So yes, that's one thing you can consider. Siguro if, well, check nyo if may part-time or if, yun nga, if you will try to work before entering college. So, yeah. Internship or OJT in Jobs 180, I'm guessing again, ito is a jobs180.com na site. So again, as mentioned yung dun sa working abroad, meron tayo dun sa work options, on-off nyo lang ang mga for internship positions, lalabas yung internship positions if nag-search kayo. Also, kung makapunta man kayo sa school site nyo, merong specific dun sa OJT positions. Next, employer rates and inclusions for that. Meron option ang companies na pakita yung range ng positions na open, but may option din na hindi pakita. But our advice para dun sa mga wondering about rates, this might be mentioned din later sa mga talks natin, but sagutin ko na rin. Ang advice namin when it comes to sa mga students na iniisip kung ano ang rates na sasabihin nilang expected salary nila sa mga interviews nila, our advice is check nyo, research nyo kung ano yung range ng mga nakukuha na doon sa position na yon, sa industry na yon. For example, nag-a-apply ka for HR and then check mo ibang company, HR positions noon, magkano yung range ng salary doon, baka may kakilala ka, tanong mo yung range, yon, doon mo doon mo makikita, compare mo doon, kung yun yung salary doon sa position na yun, baka yun din ang salary sa position na yun sa company na to. But also yung industry, check nyo rin kasi ang HR ng isang malaking company, of course, ay baka mas malaki ang sweldong mabibigay kaysa sa those that have smaller companies. May nakita akong clarification from Ms. Hannah. For companies and employers to access the website. Sorry, hindi ko na sagot ng mabuti yung question kanina, but mag-apply din naman yung kung yung question sa kanila. For company employers to use and access the website, no, free naman siya to start na gumawa at mag-post ng jobs. I think if pwede din nyo i-contact ang Jobs 180 dun sa pinakita ni Sir Kim na contact information kanina, info@jobs180.com. Yun siguro yung you could ask through that email address kung paano yung for the employer side. So kung ano ang pwede gawin with the employer na account. Okay, so I think na-cover ko naman na. Kung meron man hindi, I think pwede rin kasi siya ma-bring up later sa pag-apply kasi yung our third topic nga kung nakita nyo kanina na pagdating sa third topic on applications din siya. So, pwede ko rin i-bring up later yon habang sa talk na yon. Okay? Ay, sige, sama ko na. Last na to. Umabot siya. From JM, yung sa seminars, na puro webinars yung ilalagay nyo. Yes, accepted siya. Most companies are, well, tanggap naman. They are open to having that as seminar na ilalagay nyo sa Jobs 180 account nyo sa inyong resume link. Also, if talagang merong mga mga company, sometimes may humihingi ng kanilang mga certificates. Meron naman nagsasend din ng e-certificate sa ating mga audience. Okay, so last na yan sa topic na to. Move on na po tayo sa next. Remind ko lang, gawa kayo ng Jobs 180 account. Resume link nyo, go to jobs180.com. Make your free account. So yan, apply kayo gamit yan. So move on na tayo. Next topic natin, virtual interviews. I would like to introduce our speaker. Sheena has over a decade of HR experience, specializing in recruitment across various industries. Currently, she's the recruitment section head of CDO Food Sphere Incorporated. She's responsible for developing and executing robust strategies and programs that would provide the organization with the most qualified talent. She graduated from De La Salle College of St. Benilde with a degree in BSBA Human Resource Management and also earned her MBA from Ateneo Graduate School of Business. Let's all welcome Ms. Sheena Abellera de Jesus, Recruitment Head of CDO Food Sphere. Hello, Ms. Sheena.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Sheena. Hello again. Once again, thank you for joining Jobs 180 aming mga webinar. So, try na po natin ang inyong share screen para makapagsimula. To our audience, habang sinashare ni Ms. Sheena ang screen, thank you for asking your questions kanina. We are glad na nagpa-participate ang ating audience today. And yung questions nyo for Ms. Sheena, pwede nyo type sa comments. And tulad kanina, isa-flash namin sa screen, mabasahin namin para sa speaker in ang ating ang procedure natin. Sige po.
Okay.
Sige. Dagdag ko na rin na itong video, don't forget na mapopost din naman to sa aming Facebook page. Itong live na to, marirecord siya, popost doon. Yung mga hindi nakasama, pakisabihan sila na pwede pa rin nila panoorin to. Okay, Ms. Sheena, I could see na your screen and then your audio and video seems okay. So I will be going backstage and once again, babalik na lang ako for our Q&A. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me again, jobs180.com and students from the University of the East. I hope everyone's doing well, especially now that we are nearing the first year since yung ECQ. Ang bilis talaga, no? So my topic today is not new for most of you, but I'll be sharing how most companies do hiring. Currently, given that most organizations have shifted to incorporating technology in recruitment with the goal of still keeping everyone as safe as possible. So not only the applicants, also the employees within the organization. So I will be talking about our hiring process, the challenges and advantages that we are facing, and finally, tips on how to prepare for virtual interviews. So I'll go straight to my presentation as I only have a few minutes for this session. So just a brief comparison of how traditional recruitment works in the past. So for traditional recruitment, applicants would walk in to submit their resumes to the employer. So they would print several copies of their CVs and hand it door to door to their target companies. So in my experience in the past year, so siguro 20 to 30% of successful hires came came from the ones who walked in. Pero right now, what we're doing is we are requiring applicants to submit their CVs through social media, email, company website, as well as jobs180.com. So now it's more economical, as you don't need to print your CV or commute to hand your CV, ganyan. Just make sure that you are submitting it to the official web page of the employer to avoid giving out your information to the wrong people. I think na-mention din to ni Sir Kim a while ago during his presentation. So, yon. Next, before pen and paper exam, so yon, actual parang nasa school na nag-exam ka, no? So may paper and nasa classroom usually, or here, nasa recruitment area. But right now, we do online exams. So we send the link to the candidates and we give them a deadline on when they should be submitting back to us. So yon. Before face-to-face interviews, now we do virtual interviews. So through Google Meet or Zoom, ganyan, or other channels na online. And then lastly, from job fairs, physical job fairs within the vicinity of the schools, now we're doing it online. So what we are doing now, no? Parang online job fair na rin siya, or online seminar din. Okay. Just to share with you our process of hiring right now. So I know we have a lot of employees here in CDO, no, who came from University of the East, Caloocan, kasi malapit lang siya, no. So, first step is for applicants to submit their CVs, as mentioned kanina, via email, FB, or jobs180.com. Tapos, upon receipt of your CV, by the way, right now, we still have cases na applicants would still go to the office to submit their CV, so parang walk-in. So what we do is that we have a drop box in the building, and then we collect it na lang on a day-to-day basis, so that we can ensure that all applicants are being screened or processed, yung documents nila that they have submitted. So if we have identified that your profile is matching our current vacancies within the organization, we would be calling you for initial screening. So initial screening comprises of interview with the HR person, as well as online examination. So if you pass the initial interview with HR and then you pass the online exam, we will be endorsing you to the department for for series of virtual interviews. So depending on the position, may times na two layers yung interview, may times na panel yung interview. So it depends on the position and the department where we're processing you as well. If you pass all layers of interviews, we'll be proceeding with background investigation. So for background investigation or for reference checking, we would call your, if you have a work experience already, we would call your previous employer or your previous superior. Pag wala naman, we can call your professor, ganyan, or advisor. Um, Next, if everything goes well, no red flags, we would be proceeding with a job offer. So if you're okay with a job offer, we can proceed with a submission of pre-employment requirements. And then after that, onboarding day one. So all processes are being conducted online, unless a face-to-face meeting is necessary. So usually, candidates will be reporting to the office physically now on the first day. So yon. What are the challenges that we are experiencing now? Um, so yon, actually isa lang naman to, but it's a holistic bullet. So not all applicants have good tools needed in an online hiring process. So for example, laptop, mobile phone, or yung mostly yung most common is the low speed na internet connection. So what are the advantages now that we have shifted online? So efficient hiring process. So it's easier to schedule people because in most cases, every interviewer naman is in the office or is working from home. So napansin namin that mas mabilis na yung hiring process. Number two, it's convenient for both interviewers and interviewees. So, yun, no need to commute or experience traffic. Lastly, safe. So, actually, this is the primary goal for going digital is to keep both the employee and the applicant safe, especially at this time, no, na the vaccine is we're still waiting for the vaccine and we're still waiting for the pandemic to finally end. So we reduce physical exposure to avoid the possibility of spreading the virus. So we're constantly in touch with our local government and Department of Labor and Employment to make sure to still comply, to continue to comply to the protocols that they set. Okay. So next topic is tips on how to prepare for a virtual interview. Okay, so I have 6 bullets for this one. So number one, research. So research about the company or research about the position you're applying for. So during interviews, it's important for us to know how interested you are in applying in our company. So usually it's being manifested on how well you know our company and the products that we have or services that we offer. I always tell this classic example where we experienced interviewing someone and telling us that their favorite food is from a competitor, no. So hindi naman ibig sabihin bagsak kaagad, but it's an automatic minus point for the applicant. So make sure to really research about the organization. Number two, answer questions using experience. So, try to relate a specific scenario or a specific experience that you've had as a student or kahit OJT. Um, Instead of giving hypothetical answers like if that happens to me or if I experience that in the future, I will do my best, mga ganon. So, siguro parang try to link a specific question and relate that to a specific project that you did in school or extracurricular activity that you did so that we can assess better how you handle certain situations. So yon. Third bullet is give your full attention. So given that we are working from home, we are very um, susceptible to distractions like tinawag ka ni mommy for anything or may question sa'yo si younger sibling. So, since you're at home yun nga, since you're not physically present during the interview, make sure to inform your family members that you have an interview to avoid having them call you or distract you while you're in the middle of the call. Ayun, so that you can avoid being distracted. Have a mindset that siguro maybe from time to time there will be certain noise that may affect your attention. So prepare yourself na okay kahit may marinig kang busina ng kotse or tahol ng aso, you will remain focused during the interview. Next, number four, provide honest answers. So, recruiters are trained to detect if you're telling the truth or lying. So, it's better if you answer the questions honestly. So, aside from integrity issue that may be associated with you, we can also endorse you to a role that will fit you better or yung mas interested ka. So, let us know if you're not open to a shifting schedule. Kasi here in CDO, we have shifting schedule or may certain positions na may work on weekends. So, or maybe you're not interested to a desk job. So we can find a job match and candidate match that may last long term. So our goal is to have a person be onboarded na long term siya magsistay within the organization. I think all employers naman have that certain mindset. So number five, be presentable. So wear smart casual. Avoid using your pajamas or sando. So it's better or it's good talaga or it's right to wear a blouse or a collared shirt so that the interviewer will feel that you have prepared for the meeting. So make sure also that you're not just physically presentable, but also your environment is also clean or organized, or alisin yung mga sabit-sabit or something like that. Yung area lang naman that can be seen in the video, as it gives out a good impression that you are an organized person. So lastly, be on time. So, being on time or being punctual is a sign of respecting the other person or the interviewer's time. So make sure that you have tested everything prior to the call, your audio, your video, and your internet connection to avoid delays. So yan, I hope you've learned things today, given the presentation that I've shared with you. So moving on, I'll be sharing with you CDO Food Sphere, the company where I'm working currently. So CDO, we are a food manufacturing company that's based in Valenzuela, and we also have another manufacturing plant in Malvar, Batangas. So we have been in the business for 45 years, going 46 this year. CDO stands for Corazon Dairoong. She's our founder. So kaya siya CDO. So yun. Let me read some information about our company. So, a delicious story of success from a simple dream of providing delicious food for her family. The CDO story has turned into a lifelong commitment of providing Filipinos with high quality and affordable products. Our mission is that we champion meal times and unite families through food that calls them home. We live to bring them freshness and delight of mom-made cooking that fills their hearts. Our vision is that we will be the most trusted food company, loved for how our food creations bring and bond all generations of people together. Our values: we are passionate about customers and consumers. We have love for God. So, pre-pandemic, we have first Wednesday Mass in the building. Pero right now, we are starting to shift it to online Mass every first Wednesday of the month pa rin. So we have integrity. We are open and collaborative. We are innovative and entrepreneurial. So we have a lot of programs to promote innovations and to ensure that that the ideas of our employees are heard by the management. So yon, here are some of our products. So we have hot dog sausages, we have fantastic tocino, we have ham, bacon, Chinese deli, chicken nuggets. We have corned beef, Highlands corned beef, carne norte. We have meatloaf, San Marino tuna, and other canned products. We have dairy products, cheese, sweet preserves, cheese spread, ganyan. So we have other products also that I was not able to include here. So makikita nyo naman siya sa mga groceries and other sari-sari stores. Aside from our main business, we also have a non-profit organization, which is Odyssey Foundation. So the activities of Odyssey Foundation are connected to the 5 pillars that have been identified. So number one is Gabay Nutrition. So it's the supplemental feeding program to malnourished children. So since we are a food company, we have a lot of programs then talaga about food or mga feeding programs then to those who need it. Gabay Education, so we help provide the needed resources to existing institutions. Gabay Kalikasan, so aims to bring back green into our surroundings. So may mga clean-up drives, we have tree planting activities in different areas. We also have Gabay Hanap Buhay. So we conduct livelihood programs on meat processing for mothers. So since our founder is a mom, we focused on providing programs for mothers as well. Gabay link yung mga, for example, may pumatok na bulkan or merong bagyo. So we would be extending our help to the affected areas. Okay. So we are an organization also that we are sorry we as a company we believe that we are responsible to keeping our environment clean and green, so we have several programs such as mga wastewater treatment, recycling efforts, use of solar energy, and reduction of plastic usage. So we would want to be ambassadors in keeping our communities where we operate safe and clean. So ayun, actually that's it for my presentation. I wasn't able to include here some job openings that we have currently. Siguro you can check out our website and jobs180.com for current vacancies that we have. If you would want to get in touch with us, here are our contact information. So you may follow us on Facebook. You may visit our website, cdo.com.ph/careers, and you may visit our page in jobs180.com/cbo. So, everyone's free to send us a message if you have any questions. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you, everyone, and keep safe.
Thank you, Machina. To our audience, we will now be doing our Q&A. So while waiting for yung questions nyo, like yung kanina, I'll be asking Machina a few questions about yung dun sa na-share niya about the topic. Machina, na-mention nyo kanina, dun sa hiring process nyo, there's a chance for panel interviews. So I guess our applicants, yung iba kinakabahan na sa thought of an interview pa lang, what more kung panel na, ang dami na nila. So what can you advise sa applicants kapag panel interview para makafocus sila siguro?
I think similar din yung level ng preparation kung one-on-one interview siya and panel. You just have to listen talaga and focus on the question so that you'll be able to answer it correctly or accurately. So for me, ang main is really focusing and being present during the interview. Minsan kasi parang since it's virtual, since you're not really physically present during the assessment, minsan parang may tendency nga na you get distracted or parang malus mo yung focus during
Mm.
the meeting. So, yun, I think even if it's one-on-one or even if it's a panel interview, better to be really in the present
Mm.
during the meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Machina. So, to our viewers, yun nga, level of preparation, more or less the same dahil gagawin pa rin naman yung research na nasabi ni Machina. Yun, very important. Siguro pati pag-practice speaking, extra effort lang siguro sa pag-listen nga. And yun nga, dahil online, tapos maraming screens, so dapat mas attentive. At siguro di mo alam kung saan nanggagaling sino nagsasalita or what. Dapat aware kayo doon. Machina, I have a question from Alfonso Dizon. Any advice for impromptu interview? There.
Okay. Always number one, take note of your experiences in school or during OJT so that alam mo yun, ma-refresh ka from time to time about your experiences or about your exposure so far. Kasi kasi hindi for kasi kapag hindi ka nakapag-prepare or hindi mo naaalala what happened to you during college life or during your OJT or even your work experience, pag hindi mo siya na-take, hindi mo maalala, experience mo, kung hindi mo siya maalala.
Okay, so to our audience, yun nga, kayo naman nakakaalam sa sarili nyo, sa mga na-accomplish nyo. Dapat lang siguro aware kayo. Hindi, kung na-impromptu interview kayo, siguro dapat prepared kayo, masagot agad. Kasi kung iisip-isipin nyo pa habang in-interview kayo, yun mahirap nga. This one is from Sir Troy. Nag-hire po ba kayo ng interns from BS Computer Engineering?
As of today, wala kaming opening right now ng OJT. I think yun. Upon checking kanina, wala pa kaming vacancy as of now ng OJT for computer engineering.
Okay, sige. Machine, balikan ko konti lang yung sa impromptu interview. At sa good thing na bring up siya ng isa sa ating mga viewers. Sa impromptu interview, paano yung impromptu rin na phone interview, phone call, biglang tatawagan ni HR and can I interview you over the phone? Pero at that time, hindi mo matake yung call. Like, ewan ko, nagko-commute ka or what. So, maraming reasons. Anong dapat gawin ng ating applicants? Anong pwede nilang gawin?
Um, I think basically number one talaga is to reply. Kasi I reply what time you'll be free for the interview, or parang you can offer then na sorry for not being able to take your call right now as I am engaged in blah 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 blah.
Mm-mm.
I can call you after 30 minutes. Can I call back in an hour? Yung mga ganon. So, um, give an option what time ka pwedeng tawagan or what time ka pwedeng mag-call back para at least they can also schedule. Minsan kasi talaga may mga impromptu na nag-interview talaga kasi usually naman kasi from HR side naman or from recruitment side, tatanungin naman nila, are you free for a call now? I have a few questions, mga ganyan. So you are free to decline that naman kasi minsan naman talaga may ginagawa or you're busy with in doing something. So yun, so provide an option kung kailan ka pwedeng tawagan.
Okay, so to our viewers, wag kayo masyado ma-pressure, I guess, na yun lang yung only chance nyo na kailangan nyo i-take, na tapos na kung hindi ko ginawa to. Yun. Pero kung hindi nga kayo, if you're too busy, tulad ng sabi ni Machina, pwede nyo, better actually if sabihin nyo na kung pwede ba tawag at this time or ako mismo tatawag sa inyo. Kesa kung isipin nyo, ay sorry, hindi ako pwede. Tapos period, wala, tapos na. So better nga yung ganong response to it. We have a question here from JJ. What if I am nervous during the interview because it is my first time to be interviewed? Does it affect my interpretation or expression to me by the employer? And also, what if during an online interview, my internet is suddenly start to lag or I start becoming choppy since it is unavoidable? Can this affect my job application?
Okay. Yung marami siyang questions, no?
Yung isa-isa natin.
Yung first, yung does it affect my interpretation or expression to me by the employer? Minsan kasi case-to-case basis, may iba na pag kinabahan, halatang halata. May iba naman na pag kinabahan, hindi halata, pero kabado na pala. So, I think it will only affect yung impression sa'yo ng employer if depende na sa mga sagot mo eh. So, normal naman, I think kami sa HR, we would understand if a person is really nervous. Pero, kasi usually yung confidence mo, naaral naman din talaga siya eh, over time. Pero siguro yung content of the answer, yung sagot mo mismo, yun yung makaka-affect. Kasi minsan naman sobrang confident, pero yung sagot mo naman medyo sablay. Syempre, balance of both lang naman din talaga siya. Confidence and content ng answer. What happens if during an online interview, naglag yung internet? Hindi naman siya makaka-affect in terms of ay hindi ka natatawagan ever ulit, no? Ano naman siya I think given this time, no, na everything's nga online. Kasi even sa amin, sa HR, nangyayari din yan eh. Minsan kami pa nga yung choppy or kami pa nga yung nawawalan ng connection. So, wala namang problema doon. Basta balik lang and update lang na sorry nawalan ng internet or sorry kung nag-choppy or something. Basta yung communication is open. Walang magiging problem doon.
Okay, so dun sa first part ng question about being nervous, understanding naman si HR na most can be nervous, especially yung mga fresh grads nga. Pero again, basta hindi yung super nervous until the point na wala nang sense yung sinasabi nyo. Yun siguro ang iwasan natin dahil sobrang kaba, hindi na kayo makaisip ng maayos. And nagra-ramble na lang kayo, hindi nyo sinasagot yung tanong. Doon lang magiging talagang issue ang pagiging nervous nyo. Pero kung nakita, I guess, konti na may slight nervousness, hindi naman masyado. And connection issues, yun nga, understanding sa HR kasi minsan sila mismo ang nagkakaproblema sa connection. Okay, sige. Move on tayo. We have a question. Do senior high school graduates enjoy the same benefit of those who graduate with a college degree?
Um, Actually, depende siya sa position. I mean, kasi may mga, for example, here in CDO, we have naman openings or meron naman kaming positions na um, yung level ng education na educational background is parang depende siya, no? Yun, based on the position. So, yes, may mga benefits naman kami na across different positions here in CDO. So, kasi usually naman kasi yung other benefits naman kasi, and I think this is the same with a lot of companies din. Minsan per level yung differences ng benefits na na-o-offer sa job levels within the organization. So, yun. So, kasi parang dalawa siya, eh, 'no? So, yung senior high school in terms of, kumbaga yung pagkaka-hire sa'yo, yun iba-iba din naman siya. It depends on the vacancy, na magma-match. Kasi yun nga, may mga openings na pang senior high, may openings na pang college graduate talaga. So, iba-iba siya. So, depende sa vacancy and sa requirement ng position. So, sa benefit yun, depending on the job level within the organization.
Okay. So, case-to-case basis siya. So, again, babalik tayo ng babalik sa doing your research dahil yun nga, how you answer what your expectations are, dun magsa-start lahat. So, yan. Check nyo kung sa specific position na tinitingnan nyo, specific na strand, I guess na meron kayo kung mukhang makakapag-compete kayo with others or baka nga mas mabigyan pa ng attention sa inyo. I think we have time for one last question after this. Doon sa mga nagtanong after kay Kyle, we apologize since we are running out of time. But pwede niyo tanongin yan, tingnan later sa last part. Tingnan ko kung ma-bring up ko. Anyway, last question. What is the best way to answer if the employer asks us about the salary that we deserve?
It depends on your experience. So, minsan kasi, so yung salary rate, medyo ano talaga siya, medyo broad yung sa answer dyan. So, usually for fresh grads, for example, mag-apply kayo. Minsan kasi pinopost na rin naman nung employer yung yung range that yung budget niya for the position. So siguro kung before ka mag-apply, check mo muna, is the range within ano yung gusto ko. Kasi kung beyond dun yung gusto mo na range, parang wag ka na mag-apply. Parang kung hindi naman siya acceptable for you. Pero if you think naman na it's acceptable, within the range, pwede mo siyang banggitin. Pero kung halimbawa fresh grad ka naman, you're open sa anything, I think ang going rate ngayon is, wait, ang hirap, no? Siguro range na, siguro mga, ano ba, siguro mga from minimum wage to 18,000, or minsan kasi it can go higher depending on the need talaga dun sa role, depending on your background din, ganyan. So yun, minsan pwedeng 15, pwedeng 18,000, ganyan. Kung fresh grad. So, nandun naman tayo nag-range. Pero remember naman that even if you say na yun yung salary expectation that you have, minsan may mga internal policies din naman si employer na minsan hindi mabibigay yung expected salary mo. So, be open to that as well. Be open to negotiate as well in the end. Pero, if asking for a specific range, yun yung mga possible na pwede within Metro Manila.
Okay, thank you, Sheena. As mentioned, last question na po natin to for you. Thank you very much once again for joining us sa aming webinar. And I am guessing makakasama ka pa namin ulit sa future webinars namin. So thank you very much po.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So para dun sa gusto to learn more about yung company ni Ms. Sheena, go to jobs180.com/CDO. Nandyan yan sa ilalim ng screen nyo, jobs180.com/CDO. Yun, makikita nyo ang kanyang company profile, yung job openings yan. Puntahan nyo lang yan to learn more about the company. Miss Sheena, CDO. Okay, so move on na tayo sa ating last na topic. So, dito sa topic, I think pwede naman mag-apply yung ibang questions kanina. Try ko may singit here. So, hiring for work from home jobs, yung ating topic. And as mentioned kanina, hindi siya yung standard na same sa first two topics na talk and then Q&A. This would be more like a discussion with our representatives. Our representatives are Ms. Reese Pasha, Recruitment Manager from Optum Global Solutions, and Mr. Alden Estupetran, Talent Development Assistant Director from Ernst& Young Global Services Philippines. Good morning, Ms. Reese and Sir Dennis.
Good
Hello,
morning.
Robert. Hello, Miss Reese. Nice to see you again as well.
Yes, hi Ben.
Yes. Nice to see you two again din po. So magkakakilala na tayo. So I think yung ating discussion would be more free-flowing, I guess. Since hindi na siguro issue yung kapaan from us. So diretso na po ako agad sa ating question since yung ating topic it's about hiring for work from home jobs. Siguro tanong ko na yung status siguro sa inyong company about yung work from home jobs, like ilan percent siguro or anything you would want to add about yung status ng work from home jobs. So start tayo with Ms. Reese.
Sure, Robert. So currently, our company, Optum Global Solutions, is still allowing our employees to work from home. We're still about maybe around 80% of our workforce is still allowed to work from home currently. So it's almost been a year since our company went on lockdown. Mga 2 weeks from now, we're gonna already celebrate our 1 year anniversary na naka-lockdown. So in that case, we're very well supported by our organization. But the good thing is also they gave options to our employees to allow them to also work from the office if they would like. Situations such as if, let's say, their internet is not as strong at home, or they believe that they can focus more working from the office than at home, then they are allowed to work naman from our different offices. We have 4 sites here in the Philippines, and the all 4 sites follow safety protocols before you can enter the building and work also from the office. But so we have those 2 options. We can work from home still. As you can see, I'm still working from home, and but also you have the option to go to the office. But little by little, I think eventually we will be transitioning our workforce from working in the office as well, maybe in the second half of the year.
Okay, so yan po ang status sa company, Ms. Reese. And I guess meron ding other companies na ginagawa yung what they do na giving the option for the employees na yes, they can work from home, pero if they could work more efficiently sa office, there are companies na in-offer pa rin yung option na yon. So, Sir Dennis, kayo naman po.
All right. Thank you, Robert. And again, in our case, we've been very fortunate, both in terms of the business model that we've had even prior to the pandemic, really allowed us the flexibility in our working arrangements. Just to give you an idea of our 2,800 workforce from before, we did not have dedicated workstations at work because EY was really focusing on how people work dynamically with each other. So, for example, in my case, my team is usually situated at the 16th floor in our old office in BGC. But again, because of the way that the workstations, I can actually book a workstation with anyone over on any floor. So, for example, if I'm working with somebody in tax, I'll go ahead and reserve a workstation beside them. And in addition to that, all of us were also issued laptops. And so when like what Reese shared as well, when the lockdown started hitting, we were able to very quickly transition. So current state, out of the 2,800 staff that we have for EYGDS Philippines, 98% of our workforce continues to be working remotely. And this is, we have a really wide diversified location, and we have employees all the way up north in Ilocos. We have employees that are all the way down south in Zamboanga and also in Cebu. And I guess what's going to be important. And right now we're doing a quarterly review. Like, for example, we're up for our site review, whether or not we'll begin to offer that option for people to go back into the office. But like what Reese also mentioned, for those employees that are indeed really having difficulty, like again, maybe in their area the internet connection or the internet providers have restrictions in terms of yung internet speed. So those are allowed access, but it's very limited at this point. Like what I mentioned, less than 2%, right?
Mm.
But what's I guess what's going to be the way forward for all of us, and we're also in the process of doing is really evaluating. So even when we do reopen the office, what are some of the guidelines? What are some of the types of work that people would prefer and would want to continue from their remote locations?
Okay, so thank you, Sir Dennis. So I guess yung ating viewers would have an idea nga on how companies handle this, yung work from home na ginagawa natin ngayon. Sir Dennis, let's stay with you po.
Mhm.
I would like to ask yung hiring process ninyo to give our viewers an idea kung
Mhm.
paano siya nagagawa. Considering sabi nyo 98% ay nasa work from home. So paano ang inyong hiring process para
Mhm.
sa ating applicants na mag-a-apply
Yeah.
online?
So again, a very big help is really yung mga partnerships, like the long-standing partnership that we have with Jobs 180. In addition to that, utilizing the various forums. Right now, we've been very fortunate that our enterprise partnership with Microsoft, which is why we're using Microsoft Teams. It's accessible for anyone. So, for example, when we're conducting interviews, and usually depending on what position, if you're looking at staff level position, maybe it's around 3 to 4 interviews before you get a final decision. All of that is done virtually and on MS Teams platforms usually. In some cases wherein maybe the person doesn't have a Microsoft account just set up just yet, our recruitment team does look at other what you call this other platforms as well, maybe either Facebook Messenger, Zoom. But the primary mode that we use, even for other people outside of the company, is Microsoft Teams as of the moment. Okay? And so, what's important is that from start of the interviewing all the way to onboarding actually is already done virtually. So, for example, for the cases wherein somebody's extended a job offer, our current team with our facilities coordinate with IT to actually have the laptops delivered. But then again, one thing to take note and something I can share with all of the graduating students or those that are about to graduate that are listening as well. Maybe they're preparing for their turn. When they look for jobs in the workplace, it's really just be very flexible. Make sure that you're currently checking what's the updates, how our companies extending things again. Even for EY, who we haven't come up with a final model yet as to when things normalize in terms of like safety precautions at work that will allow us how much of our percentage will be still working from the office and how much of the workforce will be working from their work locations, because again it's a topic that not just companies here globally. Just to give a case study, diba? IBM, they had the longest running work from home arrangement, but in 2017, they themselves actually terminated it because it was impacting, especially the creative process. There's still that dynamism and collaboration that you just can't get through virtually.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Dennis. So, to our audience, thank you. I am seeing questions from you. I think I'd address this question na lang to Ms. Reese. The question is about how do companies guide new hired employees? But well, before answering, you could share na rin yung how you do your hiring, and then you could proceed with answering the question for Ms. Reese.
Sure, Robert. So currently, our company also is doing virtual hiring at the moment. Last year, when the lockdown happened, we had to think very quickly on how we could adjust to the new situation of working from home and also hiring from home. So the company were able to quickly think of policies and also put already a recruitment virtual recruitment process in place. So we are currently doing that. Similar to Sir Dennis, is we our main platform really is MS Teams, but again, it's very important that we are able to continue our recruitment process. So we can give you a call. We can also use Messenger, any way really that we will be able to reach you to continue your process. If you are available and interested in applying in our organization, we will make a way. It's also very quick. Not as different as how you would apply in our organization. I mean, the only big difference is that really it is virtual, but you would still have to go through your HR interview and also a few exams if needed for the specific position that you are applying for. And of course, going through your final interview. And once you have passed your final interview, you will go through also, of course, collecting and submitting pre employment requirements before officially joining the organization. And I like the question because it's really much related to also the onboarding of a new candidate. I mean, how will the company guide the new hired employee? Right now, it's also still very much virtual. Um, Last year and in the past, we usually do a big open house or new hire orientation where we're in one whole room. It's very fun because we get to really welcome you face to face with our training team and the recruitment team. And of course, we can't do that now because we would like to follow safety protocols and social distancing. So we still do that virtually. We have our training team set up also more like a virtual training room. So I believe that we also do that and run that through MS Teams. And you'll usually get an invite through your email, and you click a link so that you can join the new employee orientation. So it's still very much the same. We discuss certain topics that you would have to that you would need as a new employee. The only big difference is that we're not seeing you face to face. So again, we're just really following safety protocols and being very careful so that at least you will still have a very smooth transition in joining the organization while also following the safety protocols.
Okay, thank you, Miss Reese. So, yun nga, as mentioned ni Miss Reese, yung orientations that they did before, they are still doing it, this time only online nga siya. Sige, Sir Dennis, kayo rin po. How do you
Yeah.
guide yung inyong new hires, or maybe beyond that, how do you conduct yung trainings nyo sa
Yeah.
company considering sa situation
Alright.
natin?
Thank you, Robert. And again, I guess in my case, I take a question from one of our training materials. Can your career be as customized as your playlist? Lalo na with our work from home arrangements, a lot of us have that freedom to play music, whereas maybe at the office you would not have that freedom just readily available, unless of course you have like earphones or a headset, diba? So in our case, aside from the usual onboarding materials, one of the key messages that we have for all of our new hire employees is really your career, your stay with EY, however long that you stay, we want that EY experience to stay with them, to last a lifetime, right? And for that, one of the key messages that we share is really the learning resources. Their success is theirs to build, and it's not just within their specific. Like, for example, if you're coming from an accounting background, sure, again, maybe your initial work will be in accounting, but we don't discount the fact that you might be interested in other technology aspects, like, let's say, for example, cloud computing, maybe SAP systems, because SAP is one of the strategic partners of EY in terms of technology, right? So we have those programs. Like, for example, we have what we call the EY Badges program that cover everything from, leadership courses to personal and even technology courses like, AI, automation, what is again what is cloud computing, how is it changing. We also have courses that are focused in on different industries. Maybe the first client that you're working when you join at EY is focused on, let's say, manufacturing, but maybe you're interested in getting and learning more about clients in the aerospace or aeronautics industry. So we have those courses for them. In addition to that, some people might, still be wanting to pursue their academic career. So right now, one of the key flagship programs that we have available for everyone, including new hire employees, is our MBA degree. So this is the Tech MBA program. So everyone, you can just type in, in search engine EY Tech MBA program. So this is one of the key programs that EY has launched in 2020, and this is unique in the world, right? Because it's a full-fledged MBA program with Halt University, and it's available for everyone, whether you've been in the company for 10 years or just hired, like you. For example, today we're ushering a new, I think around 40 new hires for the company. All those 40 employees can already start earning that MBA degree, and that's through our EY badges. So as you're expanding your skill sets beyond, what's required from you from the job, you can actually also expand your professional credentials as well. So I think that's going to be key for us in guiding these new hire employees. And there's a lot of options, but it starts out with knowing about those options.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Dennis. So, based on sagot ni Sir Dennis right there, yung pag-train nila, I guess, helping new hires, first of all, of course, yung pagpasok nyo, but papasok din beyond yung ginagawa nila. So, there. I have a question here. I think nasagot siya somewhat ni Sir Dennis nung sa una niyang introduction. So, I'll address this to Miss Reese instead. So this is about companies providing internet allowance for work from home setup. I think na-mention ni Sir Dennis about providing mga laptop yata and such. So this one is for Miss Reese. So internet allowance and maybe like mention na rin yung other things na you provide, I guess, for our new hires.
Sure. So currently, with the setup of work from home, we do provide the laptops or desktops that you are that is needed for you to continue your work in Optum. But of course, once you return to the office, you'd have to, of course, bring the device back. That's still owned by the organization. But with the setup right now, yes, you will have your device brought to your home. There is also internet allowance that we provide, depending on how fast I believe your internet is in your area. So if you'd like to know more about that, you could always check out our website and even have a quick conversation with the recruiters that we have in our organization. But again, it's also very much important that we give that allowance to the people. It's also important because they won't be able to work really if they don't have the capability of having Wi-Fi. So on our end, we'd like to also help them out by giving them that internet allowance. So we do have that. If you'd like to know more, you could always have a quick discussion with one of our recruiters online through and apply through jobs180.com/optum or work at optum.com.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Reese. Actually, I'd like to expand dun sa answer niyo. So let's stay with Miss Reese. Yung you mentioned about yung asking about if they provide this or whatever they could ask pa. Ano tong mga pwede nilang inquire sa HR when applying or after ma-interview sila aside from asking if may internet allowance na?
Definitely, if you'd like to ask or really have that conversation with the recruiter during the interviews, it would be best, especially right now, to maybe even ask about the safety protocols of the organization. I think it's very
Yes, yes.
important for a new hire to understand that, to understand really their options on working from home or going to the office. So at least you can also, as a new employee, fix your schedule, really understand what are your in working on site or working from home. Also discuss, maybe you can even, and don't be shy, you can always discuss about your benefits and also the salary involved. I mean, that's also very much important to discuss. So don't be shy. You have to bring that topic up and really discuss about that. But I think what's really important, especially now, is the situation. So more of understanding the process of the whole organization of keeping the employees safe during this time, because I think that's really everyone's number one priority. It's for you to really not catch the virus, right? So what's the company doing in understanding the situation of these employees, and how are we able to really keep them safe from the pandemic? So it's very good to have these conversations, very much relevant at this time. So don't be shy to bring it up. You just also want to be safe for yourself and your family members or whoever you live with, right? So bring that up as well.
Okay, it's a good point. Ngayon talaga dapat ma-consider ng applicants. Maybe isa nga to sa una yung tatanungin about yung protocols, safety protocols. Sir Dennis,
Mm-hmm.
meron ako nakikita from the comments. They're asking for tips. I think, well,
Mm-hmm.
medyo general yung tips na question. Maybe sagutin natin to while thinking about tips sa new hired employees na nag-a-adjust from work from
Mm-hmm.
home. So
So
let's try to answer this to that
Mhm.
way.
Thanks, Robert. So I guess the first tip that I have for everyone is, for example, now that work from home or remote working locations is prevalent, don't wait until a company says, "Oh, we have an internet allowance," because as a person who's applying, it is something that you can negotiate during your what you call this during that portion when you talk about your salary allocation or your salary range, diba? Because, for example, when you look at it from a company perspective, maybe the reason why some companies, defer or, again, take some time or do not provide internet allowance is because, again, the situation may yet change, right? Like what Miss Reese was saying earlier. Maybe later in the year when we have like, maybe a sudden surge in terms of, vaccine availability. Maybe again, it becomes more sustainable for companies, especially based off of the type of business that they have, to have employees start working in the workplace again, right? So in that case, what do they do with the internet allowance? Do they, take it back? But it becomes very difficult. But if you yourself, like how much it costs within your area to have like a good and stable internet connectivity, then when you have that conversation, when you pass those initial second, third, fourth interview, and you're already extended the job offer, make sure be confident enough to talk to your recruiter and ask, okay, based off of my current situation, the internet is costing around this much. And because you mentioned that, the company is indeed, what they call this, is indeed allowing for work from home, can I, or I'd like to negotiate my salary to cover that expense. So that way it's part of your basic pay. Right? And again, that's something that's a good tip to have. Second tip, something I shared with you my previous talks as well. If you're looking at two types of skills, because skills usually fall under two types. Non-transferable skills, and these are usually tied to systems, tied to companies that that have specific systems. So yon non-transferable skills, it's very difficult to bring it from one company to another because again it's specific, like the type of system that they have for emails, for technology, right? But the second one, and this is where a lot of new hires or people that are just preparing to enter the workplace can really focus on, is your non-transferable skills, and you can learn and pick up these skills from a variety of situations. Like one of the more popular things that I share is, because we still cannot do a lot of face-to-face family reunions, for example, right? If for example you help organize your virtual family reunion, that in itself, you're already picking up some very valuable project management skills. Like one, how do you get everyone to indicate, diba? Do you set up a Facebook event, right? Or do you set up like a Google Meet calendar where they can put in their responses, right? You pick up very important networking skills or technology skills by utilizing these platforms. So those skills, even if you're not working formally, you can use those as examples during your job interviews to really show that, diba, parang maybe you haven't had the opportunity yet, or maybe because of the COVID-19 situation, you weren't able to complete like face to face or on site what you call this internship program. But that doesn't keep you from picking up valuable work related skills. So those are the two tips I can share.
Thank you, Sir Dennis, para sa ating tips. Well, later, Miss Reese, sa final portion, baka tanungin din kita about what you can give na tips sa ating mga applicants. But, Sir Dennis, stay tayo with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, may nagtatanong about internship positions sa
Mm-hmm.
inyo. Do you have
Yes.
any right now?
Yep.
And well,
So,
sorry. May nagtatas for a specific course but maybe mention na niya na rin lahat ng courses po na mako-cover na internship. Thank you.
Okay. So right now with our internship programs, it's not available through all of our service lines or all of our what do you call this, our work functions, right? Um, but what they can do is like what Miss Reese mentioned, they can reach out to our talent recruitment team, and you actually have the information up on your screen to go ahead and inquire with our recruitment team in terms of what are our offered internship programs. And it's something that we just recently embarked on again, because they were able to finally work out the details in terms of, what processes, what functions would be allowing for internship or virtual, in this case, virtual internship to happen.
Okay, thank you, Sir Dennis. Miss Reese, kayo naman po, internship positions from your company. Do you have any?
Yeah, currently, Robert, we are holding, it's kind of, we haven't been accepting internship at this moment. Also, really, because we're following the CHED guidelines that internship
Mm.
should be only handled virtually at this moment. So we want to, of course, especially hiring for a new employee, I mean, for a new intern, we want to be very much hands on. So we're still looking into our certain policies in place, and also can bring in interns virtually, because they also have to work from home, right? So we have to make sure that we want to really teach them the right way. So we're still thinking also of other processes nga, and how we can really bring the students into internship programs within our organization. But hopefully within the year, we'll start already accepting interns.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Reese. Well, in connection, stay na rin po tayo with you. Do you have openings for K to 12 graduates?
Right now, we can process K to 12 graduates, but I believe this is for our voice positions or customer service positions or healthcare advocates. So they can always still apply and try applying within the organization with the links below. So at jobs180.com/optum, or our company website, which is work@optum.com.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Reese. Kayo rin po, Sir Dennis. This was asked kanina sa isa nating speakers, if I'm not mistaken. So kayo po, do you have positions for K to 12
Mhm.
graduates?
Yep. Thank you so much, Robert. Currently, because of the nature of the business and what you call this, the certifications needed by our clients, we're currently accepting college graduates at this point. But again, that's an opportunity that we want to be able to tap into. So, for example, our current openings are really in the tax field for our tax technology consultants. We also have openings for our BS computer graduates for our risk technology functions, right? We also have consulting services open. And again, I'd like to invite everyone to go ahead and visit EYGDSjobs.com. Jobs180.com, so you can take a look at what are our current openings in the field of tax assurance, which is our auditing functions, as well as our consulting.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Dennis. So, we're about to finish, and I'll give each of you the opportunity to say whatever you want. The floor will be yours. You could give more tips, say more things about the company. So, it's up to you po. So, Sir Dennis, kayo naman po muna.
Mhm. All right, thank you, Robert. So I guess my parting words for all of our new graduates and near graduates is really keep yourselves and keep your options open. You may have your initial thoughts about what companies you want to apply to, but more and more with the COVID-19 health pandemic, with the varied changes that are happening in the industry, more and more companies are opening up their services and their jobs to not just graduates in the usual fields, like for example if you're an accounting graduate, then you'd go into audit or accounting firms, right? But more and more there's a lot of flexibility, and that's why EY, as one of the big four accounting firms in the world, really focuses on personal and professional development. Like what I mentioned, you may be starting out in one particular field, but if it is part of your personal development, part of something that you're passionate about, you want to maybe pursue a career in automation, those tools are available for you in EY. And so, we look forward to hearing from you. And again, it's free to ask, di ba? Libreng magtanong eh, right? And you don't lose anything. And more importantly, you gain a lot of knowledge about, what are companies doing, what are they expanding into. And that, more than anything, is really going to help set you up for success. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Sir Dennis. Kayo naman po, Miss Reese. Parting words po.
Sure. So, Robert, from our end, we also want to thank every one who's in this webinar for joining this morning. And really, my tip for you, I think, right now is really just don't lose hope. I know it's been a very long year and a lot of adjustments had to be done, but it's very important that you take this time, especially when you're studying from home, is really to take this time to really develop yourself. There again is that opportunity, and there's a lot of opportunities in the internet where you can learn several things. It's just a Google away, as people would say. So, number one, just really don't forget to develop yourself, learn more. Continue to read more. If you want to learn about something, just go ahead and Google it and try your best to really learn something new. And second, it's really don't forget to persevere. It's very important to make sure that whatever goal you have in mind, may you be an intern or you're about to graduate, make sure that you're able to reach that goal, but also by understanding the steps and how you are able to reach that goal. And in relation to that, it's very much accepting here in Optum that we also are very much supportive in your developmental plan. So if you want to learn more about our values and also the mission and culture of the organization, I really highly encourage you to check out our website at workatoptum.com, or on our jobs 180 page, which is jobs 180 slash optum. So just make sure that you're able to still keep your head up and continue to do what you're doing and doing a great job. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Reese. Thank you, Sir Dennis. So this ends our portion today, our discussion. So we hope that we could have you with us again sa aming future webinars. Once again, sa aming viewers, to learn more about their companies, it's jobs180.com/EYGPS and jobs180.com/Optum. So check nyo yung sa screen nyo, nag-scroll yan dyan. And you could search nga yung kanilang Jobs 180 Great Show. Thank you very much, Miss Reese, Sir Dennis. Hope to see you again.
Thank you so much. Hope everyone continues to stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, Sir Robert. Take care, everyone.
Right.
Bye.
Okay, so that's it. Yan yung third portion ng ating webinar. So thank you very much sa ating mga viewers. Thank you for participating, for asking your questions. And yun nga, we were glad na raise namin yung questions niyo para masagot ng aming speakers. So, well, once again, I think that it's important to thank your school officials. Hindi ito magiging posible if it were not for our coordination with them, their support. And well, with that, I would like to invite one of your school officials to share, to formally close the events. We will have closing remarks. We'll be presenting to you closing remarks from Antonio C. Postrado Jr., RGC, your guidance coordinator, UE Caloocan, for the closing remarks.
Hello, Sir Robert. Good morning. No, again, thank you for the students, senior high school and college graduating and OJT for participating in this program, no, titled Creative Career Life Planning Seminar activity. So thank you again, jobs180.com, and to our resource speakers earlier for supporting our program. So just a reminder for our students. So this is just a part one of our program. So aside from this presentation, we compiled some interesting topics that you could watch later at our Google Classroom. So mamaya i-open na namin yung link for that Google Classroom. I-update namin yung aming poster. So you could learn a lot basic important skills that could help you secure a job even in this time of pandemic. No, so this COVID-19 posted a very challenging situation for all of us. It has affected our regular routines, limiting us from going out. It has displaced a lot of employees, with many companies closing for a while or reducing their workforce to stay afloat. So this past few weeks, there are some students, graduates communicating with us. They are a bit worried about this situation because they are experiencing difficulty in looking for a job. So hopefully this program, prepared by the Guidance, Counseling, and Career Services Office and the OJT and Job Placement Office with our partner industries, we would like to let you know that there are still jobs available waiting for our graduates, no? Even for our senior high school graduates. So, but still, with the steep competition in the job market, you also need to step up and improve your skills on how to look for these career opportunities, and also improve your skills on how to ace job interview, may it be face to face or via virtual. So we hope that through this program with jobs180.com, you learn something to upgrade your skills. So this afternoon, we will update our previous post. We will open our Google Classroom. So please take time to browse all the materials prepared for you. So there are some questions earlier, no, about about salary and mga benefits. So we also have a link to DOLES, or the Department of Labor and Employment, about their labor standards. So ano ba yung mga rights ninyo para alam nyo rin kung ano yung i-assert once you are hired. So please watch some other materials posted at our Google Classroom, which will be available this afternoon. So again, thank you sa Jobs 180. So please visit our Google Classroom later. It will also the basis for your attendance, no, yung official attendance. And after your evaluation, we will send you the e-certificate for participating in this activity. And lastly, ayun, announce ko lang, GCCSO is currently preparing for its career counseling service for grade 12 students. No? So we will include this career counseling program as one of the topics in your exit interview. So hintay-hintay lang natin yung schedule. In a few days, we will announce yung schedule ng ating exit interview. But this time, if you're still confused or what course to take in college, or you would like to be scheduled for one-on-one career counseling, no, open naman din po ang aming opisina, our GCCSO. You could message us at our FB page. Pwede kayo magpa-schedule so that yun nga, ma-address natin yung need nyo at matulungan namin kayo what course to take in college para dun sa mga grade 12. So again, thank you for participating in this activity. So again, bisitahin natin yung ating Google Classroom later. Enjoy learning and enjoy job hunting. Good morning.
Thank you, Sir John. So on behalf of Jobs 180, well, we want to express our appreciation kasi nga po matagal na tayo nagpa-partner with UE Caloocan. So sana tuloy-tuloy po tayo, makasama po namin kayo ulit sa webinar at baka sa school nyo na mismo ulit, sa school campus. Sana hindi masyado matagal at makapunta kami uli dyan sa inyo. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So, well, that's it for us today. Of course, we hope na may natutunan kayo. We hope that you were able to learn something. And well, final announcements, again, this will be posted sa Facebook account namin. And well, yung announcements ni Sir John, sana na rinig nyo rin something about sa Google Classrooms nyo. Although hindi ko alam kung paano nyo ginagawa yun. Basta may evaluation and certificate. So, nandun lahat yon. So, that's it. Thank you very much. Once again, I am Robert from jobs180.com. Thank you, everyone. We wish you well. Stay safe and goodbye.